I mean, just by looking at the market, the USPS Silent Shot, this is a mil-spec skin, this is a blue skin from the Dead Hand collection from the new terminal. It has been selling around for 17 euros on the Steam community market, 15 to 10 euros. Currently selling for 7 euros and 77, and for these people who bought this for 4 euros, they could have profited on it like a lot. Generally speaking, after the dip, this is always like that when new items get introduced. Sometimes they're getting sold for way too cheap than they're actually worth at the start, and a lot of people abuse it. Generally speaking, yes, this is a beautiful skin, guys, but remember the Genesis terminal, these skins will be way cheaper. These are getting dropped weekly, and there's a lot of people farming the loot drops, and they are ready to sell the terminals for super high profit, right? So at the end of the day, this is not gonna be a long time until these terminals will be profitable, but they're definitely still worth opening maybe if you get something good. I mean, at the start of the next week, we will get the third wave of these drops. So this basically means that if you get another drop next week, it's gonna be probably half the price than it's currently selling for. I would suggest that it's gonna fall around to 3 to 4 euros, somewhere in that area. It is very possible. Also, we gotta take a look at the Alpha collection, because not a lot of people talk about this collection, but to be honest, for example, some of the blue skins seem way more rarer than the actual purple skin. That is the highest, you cannot trade it up, it's the top tier skin, there's nothing more above it. The Scar 20 Emerald, in my opinion, it is a very beautiful skin. Unfortunately, not a lot of people do play this skin, so this means the demand is not quite there for it. But I still think that this is a very beautiful skin. It's an emerald basically, and this is the factory new condition. Minimal wear and factory new are around the same area. There's no field tested, there's only these two conditions out there. Also the P90 Emerald Dragon, yes, this is the Battle Scout condition, don't judge me up on it. But this pink skin from the Bravo collection is very desirable. A lot of people use these, obviously in good conditions. UU Skins is a CS2 skin store where you can buy CS2 skins with instant delivery. Generally speaking, it's a great store and the prices are very fair in my opinion. A lot of good deals here. Your payments and deliveries are completely protected, which is a very good sign. And the items are delivered to you within just 10 minutes without a trade lock, obviously. Millions of skins listed, from very expensive gloves and skins all the way down to cheap skins, so there's a huge variety, which I absolutely love about it. Also, a lot of prices are 15 or more % under the current market value. I found this beauty 0.0008. It will take us just a few minutes and we'll receive our skin. Just like that, we got our skin. Check the link in the description. As good as you can get it is the best condition you can actually go for. So yeah, because these are getting used up for a lot of trade-ups. These are very rare. Obviously the Bravo case, one of the most expensive cases in the game currently, which is awesome. But at the same time, if you want to buy these skins, the market has risen quite significantly, because every single day the supply of these skins just decreases, and over the long time I think there's gonna be none of these left anymore, because also not a lot of people are willing to open the Bravo case actually. They would rather just keep it in the inventory as an investment instead of opening it, right? So this means there will be way less of these skins out there. I mean, as I already said, with each day the supply just only decreases. I can't lie, this does not look good for this sticker, but I actually enjoy the sticker Team Liquid Holder from the Budapest capsules. Obviously there's a lot of Budapest investors out there, right? But not as many as Paris investors, so I do still think that the Budapest capsules have a very bright future. It's just gonna take a way longer time because there's not a huge demand for these. But once we get maybe an armory update, the capsules could start also rising in price. This is just my prediction upon it. But every time when new updates in CS2 come out, a lot of items and different type of items are getting sold for very cheap on third-party websites and on the Steam community market. So these are also great opportunities when new content releases to the game to buy something else that not a lot of people are currently focusing on. And the prices could be very cheap for these skins. Basically, in my opinion, cases are probably one of the safest investments in CS2 right now. Yes, you heard that right, one of the safest ones. For example, the Prisma 2 case is, in my opinion, a very nice case to take a look at. Just a few weeks ago, I would say, it has been around selling for 2 euros, somewhere in that area. And currently, as you can see, going for 1 euros and 70. Obviously, on third-party websites, you can find even better deals. I will be definitely stocking up on these cases because there is definitely great skins inside this case. I have also some Prisma cases myself, also some of them are in my storage unit, but these ones aren't, and we can take a look at the skins inside. I mean, I remember when the Prisma 2 collection came out, this Glock was super desirable. It was also very expensive, obviously, right? In my opinion, it is definitely a nice play skin and can be on top of a lot of other Glocks in the game. I mean, this is a red skin, a direct trade up for a knife from the Prisma 2. Also, for example, the M4 Evones Player 2 was very expensive when it came out. but then a lot of people didn't really like it, and the price of these guns actually dropped in price significantly. When the gold trade up update happened, these skins have risen in price obviously, but generally speaking I think these are still nice pickups. If you go for a nice condition, there will be even more in the future, because a lot of people will be trying to get maybe some low float trade ups in with the Prisma 2 collection, even though there's a lot of gems and we don't really need good conditions for these skins, because we can get them in the factory new condition even with battle scar skins. Also pink skins like this AK Phantom Disruptor, I think it has also a lot of potential. I mean, the condition up on these AKs is very important, because the skin is in bad conditions, not really there anymore. There's a lot of scratches up on it. This one is obviously in the factory new condition. In my opinion, a very great play skin. If you have it, don't sell it right now. I think it will have a bright future. You just need some patience up on it. We're currently doing this Arctic MP9 3-tone from the Sport and Feel collection. If you want to win this skin, all you have to do to participate in this giveaway, subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up on this video, and comment something down below. Make sure that your Steam trade link is actually in your YouTube description so I can see it, and if you win I will send you the skin right away. I wish to all of you the best of luck, and let's get right into the video. I mean, this is obviously no secret. CS2 cases are notoriously one of the best investments in the whole game. They're the safest investment, but probably one of the most boring ones. I completely understand that. But for example, I would definitely highly suggest you taking a look at the Revolver case right now. Generally speaking, the case market is currently not rising the most, but I think in the future this case will have a solid future. You can buy these skins on third-party websites right now, maybe under $3, somewhere in that area. Take a closer look at the pink skins from this collection. Obviously the condition is very important, because this case has OG knives inside it, and the condition of these skins plays a huge role, because at the end of the day, if you get for example an Karambit Knight, it will be way more expensive than a Karambit Knight in field tested, I mean in the factory new condition. Also, if you have these red skins, I know they may be not the most expensive ones right now, at least in factory new condition they are, but I'm talking about minimal wear and stuff. You can find good deals on third-party websites, and in the future once the supply decreases, because this case is not getting dropped anymore, these skins are also not getting dropped, and to be honest not a lot of people are opening this case right now. You can definitely shift easily. You know how CS2 market is, it is very volatile. This is why this is very important that you make your own research upon these investments. Here's also a Glock 18 Mirror Mosaic from the Genesis terminal. This is very underrated skin in my opinion. I mean, I've gotten this skin in the 0.008 condition. Definitely not the lowest float there could be, but definitely worth some overpay, and in the future once the Genesis terminal gets removed from the active drop pool, I think it can have a lot of potential. Obviously, I'm not quite sure what Valve is gonna do with these skins, because at the end of the day you cannot trade them up to a gold, but the pink skins are gonna be way more useful in my opinion to trade up for the reds. And as a trade-up filler skin, it's also great in my opinion. Generally speaking, these Glocks used to be like 80 euros on the market, currently for selling under half of that, so basically for 30 to 40 euros on third-party websites easily. I think it's a great Glock, and if you go for the factory new condition, you can do a lot of wrong here in my opinion. Please do me a favor, before the next armory update comes out, this is very important, you need to get your hands up on at least one M4 A4 Hellish from the Train 20 and 25 condition. Yes, the condition is actually very important, but this skin, even in bad field tested condition, which is mine here, looks kinda good in my opinion, and is a very nice play skin. I mean, it has a lot of potential, not a lot of demand for it right now. But once it gets announced discontinued, I think a lot of these skins will be rising very fast in price. That's at least my prediction upon it. So definitely don't sleep and pick at least one pink from the train collection up. Also, you probably know the Vanguard cases are also going under the radar right now, but I'm not the biggest Vanguard case investor, so that's why I went for some pinks from this collection. I think once the Vanguard case starts rising and pumping in price, a lot of the pink skins will be used up for trade ups, so the price can also increase up on those. The condition is kinda important. This one is in the field tested condition, not the best one, but look at the market, look what prices you can find for these skins, and definitely go for these. Also, as you know, I'm still holding my M4 Evones M4 Saros from the Revolution collection. This one is in the 0.007 factory new. Obviously a great skin for trade-ups, not the best float, but definitely worth some overpay, maybe not a lot. But if you can find these skins on third-party websites, I think they will be very desirable in the future, because old school gloves, once the Revolution case gets discontinued from the active drop pool, I think it will have way more potential than some of the other cases that have been discontinued. And if you are interested in other CS2 investments and what you should buy right now before the next CS2 update, definitely go ahead and watch my other videos.